Hello. Hope you hear me. It should be okay, the sound. I've done some testing, but I want to do a painting on a live stream just for fun, and I'm gonna bring those paintings with me to Earth, and I have packaged up quite a number of paintings that I'm gonna give away at Earth, and I have some paintings that I wanted to give away to certain members in the community, and I actually needed 2 more paintings to give away in that way, so I printed those out yesterday and finished today, and now I'm gonna paint them. So it's gonna be a slow TV type of stream, me painting the landscapes, and I hope you enjoy the process. Basically what I've done is I prepared two landscapes. It's the same model printed twice, one in Filamentum Iceland blue color and one in Filamentum crystal clear, and it's the same model. One is printed on my CR10 and one is on my MK2.5 printer. I want to paint this landscape. It's one of my favorite landscapes of the landscape prints I've done. It's of an area called Skaftafell. It's a very beautiful area, but it's quite a long drive from Reykjavik, like 7 or 8 hours drive from Reykjavik, so I don't go there very often, but it's a beautiful area and I always like to visit. So I want to just start painting, and the paints I'm using is just acrylic paints, and people have been asking me what type of paints. So this is the paint. It's from Pandora, and it's just acrylic paints that I get in my local hobby shop. It's I don't know if it's a good brand or a bad brand. It's at least what I get in my hobby shop here, and it has been working quite well for me. So I've been using those paints from the beginning. So I'm just gonna start, and if you ask me any questions in the chat, I'll try to respond to those, but mostly I will be focused on doing the paint job and describing my process in a way, I hope. So I set up this close-up cam. That is an overhead camera, and then I have this one also here. It gives a better overview, and this camera here in front. So I have my colors put in here, and I normally mix the colors just on the canvas or the print. I don't mix the colors normally before I paint them. So I don't know if that's a common practice with people that paint, but what I normally do is to prepare the surface. I use white and black paint and mix that together and form like a gray coat over the entire surface. And usually I tend to control a little bit if I'm doing a landscape that has dark surface. I use more black in the coat, and if it's less vegetation, like in this model, it has a glacier part and then also a lot of rock formations and not so much vegetation, and then I usually go with a bit lighter undercoat, and that is like a base, because I blend the colors just on the canvas, and I try to have a similar feel to the entire landscape that I see if I'm looking at a satellite imagery of the area. So it's not an exact photorealistic science, it's just my my version of it. So it's not like a image, like with my maps that I do, that I create for people to use on their phones and tablets. I really try to make everything in the same colors as the landscape itself, so it's very realistic, the maps I do. That is a process that is totally different to this paint process. But here's I can allow myself to do more artistic feel of the process. And now, since I have two landscapes, I'm gonna do both at the same time. Just paint in one and then in another. I can promise you they won't be the same. the landscapes on the left and right, it's gonna be unique. But I have those two, and I want to do them in one go. It's quicker for me to do that in that way. Hi Mike Wiley, welcome. Hope you enjoy this video. It's not like a normal 3D printing video. It's a paint hobbyist video. If you are interested on how I go about painting the models, then this is a video you want to watch. I didn't schedule this video, I just was ready to do it, and I just started to record or stream, so people might not have gotten noticed of the video beforehand. But I sent a tweet out earlier today that I was going to do the stream. So now I have the base coat in a gray coat. What I do next normally is to put in some green. Hi John Mack, welcome. In this landscape there is not so much green around in the area. It's mostly rock formations, and there is geothermal activity in the area, and there is more yellow and red and orange and rock formations. But there are some areas here that are green. But I found out it's very easy to blend the colors afterwards, and I'm not so stressed out if I don't get the colors right in the first go. I will just change them as I paint. I have no background in learning how to paint, so when I'm doing this, I'm just figuring out how colors blend together and try to find out a good way for them. So it's always a experimental process. So John Mack, I don't know if you were here from the start, but I'm going to bring those models to Earth, and I have packaged up quite a number of models that I'm going to give away, and I needed a little bit more, so I printed out those two yesterday, and they were ready to be painted today, so I decided to do a live stream. Yeah, basically what I was saying in the beginning, I was just talking about that I was going to bring those paintings to Earth and give them away, and I decided to do a live stream for the paint process. I sometimes got questions before if people were wondering if I would do a live stream with the paint process, so I decided to try it out. Yeah, I'm really excited about going to Earth. It's the first time I go to any 3D printing related event, and I'm really excited to see all the people. Yeah, you can rewind. And now I'm painting the red color, or a magenta color. It's called primary magenta, and that will blend with the green, and then I'll add yellow, and it will create a brown coating with those colors blending together. And I try to create some dynamics in the paint by blending on the print. It's a Panduro acrylic paints that I get at a local hobby store. Hi Rover, thanks for joining in. And in this area here, there is all kind of colors in the rock formations because of geothermal activity. So this spot here is a little bit different than the remaining area of this landscape. So I'm adding more yellow to this one. I'm just gonna get a bucket of water. And this no coffee. No, what's the news? Coffee, but damn. And I'm using those foam brushes. I'm doing that to blend the colors while I'm painting. I find it easier to use that than a normal brush. Yeah, I'm hoping to get a chance to walk in on Walter's morning coffee at the Earth stream just to say hi. Now I'm adding brown to the remaining part of the landscapes that don't have all those yellow colors in. It's primarily this area that has the yellow colors. And what I do with each layer of color, I try to not totally fill over the cracks. The color is Panduro acrylic. That's the paint I'm using. So now I'm in this area, I'm just stroking the peaks with the brown, so the yellow will remain in the cracks. And I don't know if you notice, if you watch my time lapse, I sometimes use this hand, and then I just switch over to this hand and use that as well. I write with this hand, but I throw a ball with this hand. So in some form I can use both my hands for different things. So it's strange. So now I've got most of the base colors in the landscape, and then I'll try to brush over with some greens again. I can never do like two paintings the same. It's always just experimenting. There's a small, very low tree type forest in this area here that has the most vegetation. The tree types are called birds, I think, in English. I'm not entirely sure though. It's a low type of trees. And normally the sponge gets very filled with paint, so I change them out regularly. That way I can be more selective on where the paint goes. If the brush is totally filled with paint, it floods the canvas. In this area I'm also adding a little bit of pink color that will blend nicely. I missed the morning coffee with Walter. Did the printer print okay for him today? Extrusion printers, do you know? And now I think I've got the colors in a good. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it was quite a stream yesterday for him. Good thing that he takes the time off. But now I've got the colors in, and then I use black to get more contrast in the mountain areas. The peaks of the mountains. Got a bit too much of black paint here. So now with the black paint, it gives it a more contrast, and then at the final stage I go over with a white paint on the mountain tops. And then the last thing I have to do is to paint the glacier part itself, and that is a blend of white and blue. And what I really have to do for the glacier is to wait for the paint to dry before I apply the final white coat, because I don't want green or brown colors in the glacier parts. So now with the white I just slightly touch the top parts. To have them stand out like there was snow in the top of the mountains. Got all three printers printing behind me, and they're all printing maker coins. I had counted like 50 maker coins that I had in my drawer before, but I want to create maybe 50 more to have to the earth. So now I've got the white color for the mountain tops. This is somewhat dry, the glacier part, so I'm going to try to start painting the white. Spilled some water here. So here's one area that has a glacier coming down. So now, like here, I'm getting the green color blending in to the white, so I have to wait for this area to dry more. But here on the top there are pockets of ice. This is still some brown paint not drying. Facebook giveaway link. What link are you talking about? Are you talking about the giveaway at Earth? Yeah, I have to look at that later. 3D gloop opened. I don't know what that is. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I haven't looked into that, how the prices are giving out for the Ender 3. Yeah, okay. Yeah, Matt is helping me out with the giveaways of the landscape models. We're gonna do it like that you come to the 3DP Friday Hangout booth and put your name in a bucket. Then we will do a drawing. We're going to do 4 drawings on Saturday and 2 drawings on Sunday. So it's 6 models that I'm giving away in that method. If you come to Iceland and travel in this location, you can go by a group and like a guided tour and walk up this glacier, and it's quite dramatic how the glacier is crumbling down, and they have found like pathways to go up between the crevices, and it's quite amazing to walk on a glacier that is moving and is changing. And now I'm about to be finished with this paint process. So it's been like half an hour that took me to paint those two paintings. Yeah, is it cold there? Here in Iceland we don't get that much cold. It's because of the North Atlantic stream that goes up from the Caribbean up to Iceland. The winters here are not so bad. We don't get the for many days ice freezing, so medium temperature in the winter time is around just 0 degrees Celsius here in Reykjavik during winter. It gets more cold up in the mountains, of course, but it's not as cold as people might think. Now just adding a little bit more detail in the snow parts of the mountain tops, just to add a little bit more contrast. Hi Sean, and Bob Ross of Iceland. I'm not sure if I'm half as good as he. He's like the master. But I enjoy it. I'm thinking about doing a live stream like that, doing painting on a more regular basis after Earth, and see how it goes, if I get good views. I got like half of the view hours needed for monetization, and like 700 subscribers or something, but I really need the view hours on my channel. And I will start making millions. Be rich. Yeah, happy Father's Day. We went out for dinner, me and my wife, and my son. Had some Icelandic lamb. It was quite good. Yeah, I think now I'm about to be finished. I just have to wait for the paint to dry, and then I can sign the models and write on the back of it. But that pretty much is the process I go through to paint my landscape. It's a little bit over half an hour that it took me to do those two paintings. And I'm always getting better and better with how the colors work together. I'm just learning how different colors blend and how they work. So yeah, I can have this one. So that's a basic process. I had thought maybe I would have the stream going for approximately 1 hour, going through the paint process, and but it was going very well for me this time. Now with the CR10 I'm able to print much larger prints, and that takes more time to paint those paintings, and those two were printed on my MK2.5 and MK3 printers, so it's just a normal size for that. Yeah, the live streams helps with the view hours. I noticed I did the live stream a few days ago with an upgrade of my MK2 to MK2.5. The view hours that day was like 500 times more than a normal day. So, and even after the fact, the stream had some views afterwards. So it can be looked at, and people just jump over to the parts they are interested in if they are doing the build. It was going pretty good, except it took a long time for me to adjust the belts in the groove to tension the belt. It was very tight fit, but it went together finally, and then I could continue the build. But there was like 20 minutes of the stream that I was just trying to put in the belt at a tiny place, and not very good YouTube content, I guess. But people stuck around though, and I got decent amount of views for that video, so it's good for the channel, I think. Yeah, yeah, thanks for the thumbs up. Yeah, as I finished the paint process, I'm just gonna end the stream. I didn't plan to do like night hours Walter's stream. He was doing 11 hours yesterday, I think. It was quite a feat to do. I'll try to keep this short, and if I get good comments on this stream, I'll maybe do this more regularly, to do a stream and do the paintings. I've done YouTube videos with time lapses of the paint, and I think it's okay to do a stream also if it gives me good view hours. That's a good thing, I think. Yeah, James, he did like 24/7 streams of his printer printing the cases for his project, so that was just yeah, more live stream. Yeah, I'll sure do that. I think people like to interact and do some live streams. So yeah, but I thank you for joining in. I've done what I've meant to do in this stream, and I don't want to drag it along. So I thank you all for joining in, and hope you enjoyed the process. You can now see how the magic happens with the paintings. It's not very complicated complicated process, but I enjoy doing it, and it gives me, yeah, it's like relaxing for me to just focus on the colors and the paint. It's totally different what I do normally in my work as an IT admin, so it's a good project for me to do. Yeah, so I'll see you at Earth, and thank you for watching, and I will see you at Earth. And I think I have maybe one video coming up before Earth, but that's a scheduled video, but I'll see you there. So thanks for joining in.